In 1937, the British soldier and military theorist John Frederick Charles Fuller published a small and strange book. He called it a speculative study of one of the secret doctrines hidden inside the Kabbalah, the mystical tradition he believed to be the very foundation of Jewish culture and Jewish aspiration. This is a journey into that secret wisdom. Fuller insists this is no treatise. The Kabbalah, he writes, is not a holy book at all, but a secret traditional knowledge, the hidden thought of Israel, scattered like gold in rock through the Torah, the Talmud, and the Zohar. Within it lies one key doctrine that unlocks all the others, the law of equilibrium, the balancing of complementary forces. Grasp it, he claims, and you hold the seed of a coming world revolution. Miss it, and the whole symbolism of Jewish mysticism must remain forever obscure. Before the doctrine itself, Fuller asks why such knowledge was ever kept secret, and what happens to a civilization when its mysteries are thrown open to the crowd. Our guide is an unlikely mystic. J.F.C. Fuller was a celebrated British general and a pioneer of armored warfare. Yet he was also a lifelong student of the occult and a former associate of Aleister Crowley. He had already written a study of the yoga of the Brahmins and Buddhists. Here he turns to Jewish mysticism. Fuller does not claim to be an adept. Like Columbus setting out to prove the world round, he sets out to penetrate the mists of Kabbalistic learning, suspecting they hide the idea of a new world conception that for 2,000 years has been struggling to take form. His single aim, he says, is modest, not to master the mystery, but to examine it, explain it, and establish the idea behind it as a fact. Life, Fuller begins, is shrouded in mystery. We live, as Plato said, in a cave with our backs to the light, knowing only the shadows that play upon the wall. Our whole intellectual life is symbolical. Every word for God, whether the unknowable, reality, or zero, is only a symbol equidistant from what it represents. While faith in a symbol holds, an equilibrium binds the mind to the mystery and contentment reigns. When that faith breaks, discontent rushes in, and in discontent lie the origins of all world revolutions. Behind the turmoil of his age, Fuller sees the machine, the Baphomet of the Age of Iron, which should have been man's servant, but has become his master, because the mysteries of science slipped the leash of secrecy and coursed madly about the world. Transcendental knowledge, Fuller argues, has always been guarded. Christ spoke to the common folk in parables and warned against casting pearls before swine, not from contempt, but because he understood how fine is the filament between reason and madness, and how easily knowledge dissolves it. The Hebrew word sod, meaning mystery, shares its numerical value of 70 with the word for wine, for mystery can intoxicate as well as refresh. Moses, learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians, esoterically laid the secret doctrine into the first 4 books of the Pentateuch and initiated 70 elders who passed it from mouth to ear. A civilization, Fuller warns, rarely perishes by the sword. It perishes when its rulers uncover the mysteries in the public places and the multitudes dance around the golden calf. The fountainhead of the doctrine is the Zohar, the Book of Splendor, a vast and jumbled commentary on the Pentateuch, written partly in Aramaic and partly in Hebrew. Tradition credits it to Rabbi Simeon ben Yochai, who lived in the 2nd century and, legend says, hid in a cave with his son for 13 years, buried in sand to the neck, studying the law. The doctrine, it was held, passed from God to the angels, then from Adam to Noah to Abraham, who carried it into Egypt. Moses, David, and Solomon were its greatest initiates. History tells a soberer story. The Zohar is largely attributed to Moses de Leon, a Spanish Kabbalist of the 13th century, and first appeared in print at Mantua and Cremona between 1558 and 1560. What then is this Kabbalah? Not a book, Fuller says, but a reception, a wisdom whose entire philosophy can be named in a single word: equilibrium. The word Kabbalah, Fuller explains, simply means reception, something received, an oral transmission, the spoken word. It is not a holy book like the Vedas or the Quran, but a secret traditional wisdom embedded in many works. It embraces the nature of God, the mystical cosmogony and destiny of the universe, the creation of man, the doctrine of good and evil, the soul, angels and demons, and the transcendental symbolism of numbers and letters. These are divided into the theoretical and the practical Kabbalah, the first philosophical, the second magical, built around the chariot of Ezekiel. The speculative branch, Adolf Frank wrote, is the very heart and life of Judaism. And all of it is wrapped in secrecy, for the recitals of the Torah, the Zohar warns, are only its outer garment. The origins of the Kabbalah are primeval, lost in legend and folklore. Fuller calls the Kabbalist an inveterate plagiarist who never hesitates to absorb knowledge from outside. Into it percolated Aryan and Chaldean doctrines. From Egypt came the mysteries of the sun god and of Osiris and Isis. Assyria and Babylon gave much, and not a little flowed from the Vedas, the Upanishads, and the Tantras. Within it, Fuller says, one may find Hinduism, Taoism, Buddhism, Zoroastrianism, Christianity, and even Satanism. Every cult but pure polytheism has laid an offering on its altar. This extraordinary universality has been its binding force, waterproofing Judaism against dissolving influences and adapting it perfectly to the ideals of a world-scattered race. There is, he admits, both grist and chaff in it, a medley of wisdom and nonsense that often defies separation. Yet, in a silent, secret way, Fuller concludes, the Kabbalah offers humanity a world religion. The philosophy of the Kabbalah, Fuller writes, is a question of balance, of poise, of equilibrium. He pictures it as an egg. The shell is the exoteric doctrine, the protective claim that Israel will conquer the world and return to Eden. The yolk is the esoteric truth, the reabsorption of the universe into the pure spirit of God. The white is the accumulated wisdom of the world, the food each soul must absorb before it can break the shell and, like a fledged bird, soar into the air. Above all stands the supreme law, drawn from Hermes and the Zohar alike. That which is above is like that which is below. Evil is not the opposite of good, but its negative pole, and perfect equilibrium of the two is zero, no thing, bliss. Now the great machinery. Fuller traces how the universe emanates out of no thing, through the form of man, and back to no thing again, by way of 10 luminous numbers. The primal cause is called the Ein, the no thing, a something so transcending the intellect that it can only be described by negation. Out of it emerges the Ein Sof, the boundless, the eternal, and from that, the Ein Sof R, the limitless light. This light, Fuller explains, is not the opposite of darkness, but a vibration, a sucking in and a throwing out, the centripetal and centrifugal rhythm from which the universe is woven. From the light flow 3 intelligible names: Eye, the I am; YHVH, that which was and is and will be; and Elohim, God in nature. The whole cosmos, then, is a divine form reflected in a beam of light, a form that will vanish utterly back into the Ayin the moment that beam is cut off. Existence itself, Fuller suggests, is light, perhaps the very radiation that present-day science describes. In 32 mysterious paths of wisdom, the Sefer Yetzirah says, the Lord wrote, creating the universe by numbers, letters, and words, 10 ineffable sefirot and 22 basal letters. The sefirot are the 10 emanations of God. The first is Kether, the crown, the single point of light transmuted into thought, whose divine name is Eye, I am. From Kether emerge Bina, the mother, negative and plastic, and Hakma, the father, the word or logos through which all things are generated. These first three, Father, Mother, and Son, form the supernal triad, the intelligible world. Everything that exists, the Kabbalah holds, is the work of male and female principles in union. The decade is the perfect number, the all-embracing unity emerging from no thing and destined to be radiated back into it. Below the triad, the emanation continues, forming the body of the heavenly Adam. Hesed is grace or mercy, the right arm. Pahad is severity or fear, the left arm. And they unite in Tifereth, beauty, the sun at the heart of the universe. Netzah, victory, and Had, splendor, the two legs, and the armies of Yahweh, unite in Yesod, the foundation, the seat of the generative principle. Last comes Malkuth, the kingdom, the feet of Adam, called also the queen, the bride, and the Shekinah, the real presence of God. Three faculties answer to them in man, the Neshama, the spirit, the Ruah, the reason, and the Nefesh, the instincts and emotions, the animal life. So the divine and the human share one anatomy. Man is the tree of life made flesh. The tree is not single. It is projected through 4 worlds, each holding its own 10 sephiroth. The first is Atziluth, the world of emanation, the abode of Adam Kadmon, the archetypal man. The second is Bria, the world of creation, dwelling of the angel Metatron and the pure spirits. The third is Yetzirah, the world of formation, home of the angels of the stars and planets. The fourth is Asiya, the world of action, also called the world of shells or Qliphoth, where matter lives and Samael, the prince of darkness, rules. The whole of creation, Fuller says, is the evolution of light from a quality beyond man to one within him. The great Kabbalistic secret is the transmutation of darkness, light in its material form, back into Illuminism, which is light made spirit. Here, Fuller leaves philosophy for the esoteric heart of the book and meets the most dangerous of all its doctrines, that good and evil are not enemies, but partners. The Kabbalah, Fuller stresses, does not recognize 2 independent powers warring in the cosmos. Good and evil are both under the one absolute. Evil, Isaac Meyer wrote, springs out of the good and originates only from a diversion of it. Isaiah says it plainly, I formed the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. Like the philosopher Hegel, the Kabbalist holds that a thing exists only through its opposite. White is nothing without black, good nothing without evil, as the complements of a single unity. When God created man, the Zohar says, he made a right and a left, the one called good and the other evil, and set man to be a combination of the two. The very purpose of evil is to stimulate goodness. To make evil into a separate god of evil, Fuller argues, is the heresy that divides Christianity from Judaism. The Hebrew Satan is Samael, genius of the world of angels. By a chain of falls, Adam Kadmon becomes Metatron, Metatron becomes Samael, and Samael falls again into his demoniacal counterpart, Tetragrammaton reversed. His name means the angel of poison, Sam, poison, and El, angel. His consort is Lilith, the woman of whoredom, whose name means night. Yet this descent happens of necessity, for only by descending can the fallen god complete the cycle of emanations and at last return to the no-thing. As the sorcerers proclaimed, Daimon est deus inversus, the devil is God inverted. Satan, Eliphas Levi wrote, is not a black god, but the negation of the deity. Fuller leans hard on the French occultist Eliphas Levi to drive the point home. According to the Kabbalists, Levi wrote, the true name of Satan is Jehovah reversed, for Satan is not a black god, but the negation of the deity, the personification of atheism and idolatry. The devil is not a person to initiates, but a force created for good that can be turned to evil. It is in fact a very instrument of liberty. The letters of the evil demon's name, Pico della Mirandola observed, are the same as the letters of God's name, and the wise can extract one from the other. To translate the mystery simply, Fuller says, God becomes manifest to us through the vibrations of life and life, but this manifestation is not God, only his reflection, which of necessity must be reversed, so that God, read backward, is dog. Between good and evil stands the free will of man, the central pillar of mildness. Its symbol is the letter Shin, its sound the hiss of a serpent, its shape an open mouth, its value 300. Held erect, it is the rod of Aaron and the brazen serpent of Moses, the equilibrating fire that balanced makes white magic and unbalanced black. Closely bound to this is the mystery of sex, the great cosmological mystery, for marriage is the symbol of perfect harmony. Every figure that does not comprise male and female, the Zohar says, is not a true figure. The very creation of worlds happened through delight, in the orgasm of the Ein Sof. To the Kabbalist, the sex act is the holiest of all, for benediction abides only where male and female are joined. Fuller now retells Genesis as a Kabbalist, where creation is a falling, failed worlds litter the past, and the sin in Eden is God's, not man's. To the ordinary mind, creation means springing up, newness and novelty. To the Kabbalist, it means the opposite, descending, obscuring, grossifying. No one would call a statue greater than its sculptor, yet the statue is the artist's thought crystallized into stone and may outlast his flesh by 1,000 years. So with the universe, it is the totality of the thoughts of the divine thinker, God in form and in activity. From the holy beasts down to the tiniest worm, the Zohar says, all lives in Elohim and through Elohim. What is it made of? The void and the formless, tohu and bohu, finding their harmony in darkness. And why was it created at all? That, the Kabbalist answers, is no rightful question, for God is beyond reason. The universe came to be of pure necessity. Before this world, the Zohar tells us again and again, God made experimental worlds and destroyed them for their imperfection. These are the kings that reigned in the land of Edom before any king reigned over Israel. He hewed worlds and marked out their limits, but they could not preserve themselves, so he let them vanish. They were imperfect, Fuller explains, because the female principle had not yet been joined to the male. Balance was not yet established, and without balance, nothing can endure. Only after the kings of Edom were swept away could the latent deity assume a balanced form as Adam Kadmon. Yet nothing truly perishes, not even the breath that issues from a mouth. The vanished worlds, some say, account for the peopling of the earth with races other than Israel.
Adam Kadmon is the primordial or heavenly man, the form, not the spirit, of God in Atziluth. He is androgynous, the absolute pattern of all that is, the noblest figure harnessed to the chariot of God. There are, in truth, created. God, Fuller writes, is unity, the world is duality, and man is trinity in unity. As the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters, so the intelligence of man moves upon the fluxes of matter, seeking through equilibrium to lose its identity in the Spirit of God.
In Genesis, God takes a rib from Adam to fashion woman. The Kabbalist reads the rib as the letter Yod. Remove the Yod from the 4 letters of the divine name, and He Vau He remains, which is Eve. With the Yod extracted, the mystical eye closes. The vision of the higher tree of life is cut off from the world of matter, and Adam and Eve, though naked, feel no shame, for they have lost the power to perceive the supernal light. Then comes the fall, and to Fuller it is not man's ruin, but the first step in the redemption of Tetragrammaton. The apple is Yasad, the source of generative power. Had Eve never tempted Adam, good and evil could never have been harmonized. The blame was laid on Adam only to conceal a far more potent secret. The book's boldest claim now arrives, that the work of redemption is not to save man, but for man to redeem the fallen God himself. The Messianic Act, Fuller writes, is a transubstantiation of matter into spirit, the whole process of creation run in reverse. Its aim, in everyday terms, is not order or happiness, but the opposite, an anarchy and discontent so intense that the complementary forces of this world annihilate one another through the very friction. Imagine a universe made by electrolyzing water into oxygen and hydrogen. The Messianic Act would destroy that universe to restore the water. It is mirrored, he says, in the Eucharist, where bread and wine become body and blood, matter made God. So potent is this mystery that Fuller compares it to atomic energy. Its power to destroy equals its power to create, and which is unleashed depends entirely on the will of the user. Therefore, the will itself is the Redeemer. To the Kabbalist, Fuller says, there are 2 principles in every human being, the active and the passive, and by the law of inversion, 2 within the divinity also. The great work is not to redeem ourselves, nor to be redeemed by divine power, but to redeem Tetragrammaton, the fallen god of the world of formation. The active principle in man must wed the passive in Yahvahe, and the passive in man submit to the active in Yahvahe. From that double marriage, the Messiah is born, a complete integration of man in God and of God in man. As Christ in Christian theology must suffer for man, so here man must suffer for God. The crucifixion of mankind is the necessary consequence of the divine fall. Man is the instrument of the redemption of God, the secret the Kabbalah only ever hints. With Tetragrammaton disintegrated, Fuller descends into the carnal. The fragments of the divine name separate, and love and power, the Venus and Mars forces, are torn apart. Their striving to reunite breeds Cain and Abel, the murder of love by power. Then comes magical incest. The sons of God descend to the daughters of men, light absorbed by darkness, and black magic is established, the earth peopled by despots. Mankind sinks into the Qliphoth, the world of shells reflected upon the chaos of human passion, and hell, the materialized mental pit, is created. The Tower of Babel follows. Any attempt to seize heaven's secrets and broadcast them to the uninitiated can only end in misunderstanding and anarchy, a confusion of tongues, a babel of false symbols. To deny hell, Levi warned, is also to deny heaven, for harmony itself results from the analogy of contraries. Fuller turns prophet, distilling the whole doctrine to 10 plain points, and arguing that modern physics is stumbling, blind, back toward the Kabbalah. Fuller reduces the whole system to a handful of plain propositions. Man is a mystery within the mystery of the universe, which leads to the deeper mystery called God, a threefold wonder of God, man, and world. This universe comes from an unknown source and wends toward an unknown end, so its nature can be told only in symbols, pictures no more real than a photograph. In its ultimate form, the universe is light, incomprehensible without darkness. Everywhere a threefold order rules: physical, moral, and intellectual. Nothing in this world is single, not even a thought. Relativity, the relation of an above and a below, is the secret of deliverance and the road of light. And when light reaches its limit, the one thought form will be recreated, the myriad fragments of thought restored to the primal idea. Then comes Fuller's most startling turn. The science of his day, he says, looks like the chaos the last century would have feared: causation dissolving, law giving way to chance. He quotes the physicist Sir James Jeans, who reduced matter to bottled-up waves and radiation to unbottled waves, both existing only in our minds, mere pictures of a reality beyond thought. If matter is annihilated, Jeans wrote, the whole story of creation can be told in 6 words. God said, "Let there be light." The universe, Jeans concluded, appears to have been designed by a pure mathematician and may be pictured as pure thought, leading straight back to Bishop Berkeley's eternal spirit. Here, Fuller marvels, the newest symbols of science harmonize with those that flashed upon the mind of man thousands of years ago. The laboratory of the devil, Fuller writes, is the heart of man. To the speculative mind, God is a mystery known only by symbol. To the crude masses, God and his symbols are one thing, a physical fact to be loved and feared. From time to time, a man appears, an Orpheus, a Zoroaster, a Buddha, a Christ, who throws the multitude into a religious fervor resembling drunkenness, filling them with a god. But his words can only translate his vision into symbols drawn from his own mind. Should a Kabbalist detonate the spiritual instinct of the ignorant masses with a satanic symbology, his intoxicated followers, taking the symbols for realities, will be turned upside down and driven to acts of anarchy and outrage. The child of that union is not Lucifer, the intellectual Satan, but Belial, his sensuous counterpart. Fuller renames the source of mystic power the 4th dimension. Modern science had welded time to space into a 4-dimensional continuum, and he seizes the image. A 3-dimensional being can tap this higher source, but can only use the power according to his own nature. So the masters insisted their disciples first purify themselves, balancing body, heart, and mind. The same fire brought down from heaven illumines a balanced vessel and blinds an unbalanced one. Mystic power, he warns, is diabolical as well as divine, like dynamite that can raise a temple or blast it apart. The 4 supreme powers of the Magus are to will, to dare, to know, and to remain silent, and the last, silence, is the divine synthesis of the other 3. Those who attain it, Fuller says, are the true leaders of light, like Jacob who wrestled with God at the ford and never dared pronounce his name. At last, Fuller names his subject, Illuminism, the universal science of light, and the perilous art of becoming, in silence, a vessel for it. Illuminism, Fuller writes, is the universal science of light, and light, even physically, is a complete mystery. God is light. From it the world is made. Life is its activity, and death its shadow, with love standing between, as light in human form. In the Zohar's reading, the chosen people are the light of the world, now mixed with the darkness of the Gentiles. God brings them from captivity as one leads a man long kept in darkness into the sun, first an aperture no wider than a needle's eye, then a little more, lest the sudden blaze destroy him. So Israel will look forth as the dawn, grow fair as the moon, clear as the sun, and at last terrible as an army with banners, until become the Messianic shin, she unties the tongue of God. Revolution means turning around, Fuller writes, and the revolutions of the soul come as overwhelming shocks. The key is the word guidance. A true guide points the way and leaves the traveler's free will to walk it. A false one blindfolds him and forces him in a chosen direction, plunging him into a darkness disguised as light. For an individual to will that light shall be is one thing. To be hypnotized into believing light already exists is another. History shows the greatest religious reformers almost always appealed to the most ignorant and uncultured classes, for the masses, like tamped gunpowder, will only explode when robbed of intellectual liberty. To detonate revolution, Fuller concludes, two things must meet: a people lacking freedom and an illumined master. Even Weishaupt, founder of the Illuminati, first spent 5 years in meditation. Searching every religion for a common thread, Fuller finds one, not a doctrine, but a blank, which he calls the Great Omission. In the life of every master, there is a hidden period when he vanished from the world to fructify his soul. Buddha sat for years beneath the Bodhi tree. Christ disappeared from the age of 12 to 30. Muhammad withdrew into a cave to meet the angel Gabriel. Moses fled to Midian, St. Paul into Arabia, Simeon ben Yochai into his sand-buried cave. Even the philosophers retreat, Pythagoras into 5 years of silence, then Lao Tzu, Plato, and Bishop Berkeley. Of all these masters, Fuller judges Buddha the sublimest, because he refused to discuss God, the soul, or heaven, saying only, "Think rightly, act rightly, live rightly, and deliverance will be revealed." And so the way itself. Normally, Fuller concludes, it is passivity, not activity, that unlocks the mysteries. When the mind is stilled and the brain becomes a spotless mirror, a vision is seen, and in the twinkling of an eye, a man's whole being is changed. The key of passivity has 3 flanges: equilibrium of body, of soul, of mind. In the West, this science is ceremonial magic, piling symbol upon symbol until thought is topped. In the East, it is yoga, stripping symbol away until the spirit alone remains. There is but one road to be desired, runs the tablet of Sebes, and it is wisdom, but one evil to fear, and it is madness. To hold the light erect is white magic, to turn it downward, black. Such are the rewards and penalties of the mystic way. Fuller never claimed to be an adept, only to show that his idea was valid. He leaves us where he found us, in Plato's cave with our backs to the light, but persuaded that behind the jumbled symbols of the Zohar lies a single, dangerous, luminous law, that all things rest on the balance of opposites, and that man himself is the link between God and the universe, the instrument by which the no thing remembers what it is. The name of God, the Kabbalists insist, remains unpronounceable. Thank you for journeying into the secret wisdom of the Kabbalah.